I'm HamsterBomb.
And I'm Timothy.
And you guys are back for some more Pokedex Paradox, the show where we go through the Pokedex, find ridiculous entries, and we found several today. And we go through the science behind what kind of nonsense is written in there, or see if it actually makes any sense at all.
This one is just going to be truly disgusting, and I am excited to hear about what the disgusting news is.
Well, there's also a lot of math behind this one, too. There's a lot of things we get to talk about today for Mudbray. I think this is the first Sun and Moon Pokemon we've done to do.
I feel like this is one of those Pokemon you put off to the side and you forget about. Because I don't think about it until we were going through deck entries and it just came up.
I guess. Or you could be like, I know Matt, when he played to this point in his Sun and Moon game, he ditched his entire team, just focused on this horse. And that was it. Rest of the game, just this horse. So, anyway, one thing that's particularly astounding before we even get any further is the fact that Game Freak actually looked up what a newborn horse weighs and what a newborn horse's height would be.
Game Freak!
Whoa!
This is pretty accurate for their numbers. That in itself is amazing.
I know, right? And what's really weird, we're going to get a little bit of time to actually talk about Mudsdale as well in this episode. Typically, I want to keep one Pokemon per episode, unless we're doing like a You're Not Special and we chuck them all in there. But the thing about this one is, it's the same sort of stuff being said again. So, like how we did our, the Whismur to Exploud episode,
right, yeah.
We're kind of doing the same thing here. We're going to talk about Mudbray. And since he's so new, we've only got 4 little entries from this guy. But, oh my.
They're great.
They're great.
They are so great.
They are so great. So, like I said, the height and weight, he's a little over 3 feet tall. And his weight is about 242 pounds.
Right. Which an average horse that was just born is about 240 pounds. So, and same thing goes for Mudsdale.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But yeah, it makes sense. All right, so the first entry from Sun, basically, let's just forget it. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not interesting at all. So Moon is probably the big one that I'm gonna get into. Kim's got another one.
This is the one I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear about this entry.
Right when I read this, I just burst out
this.
laughing when I read this. And I was like, I have to figure out how to make an episode out of this. Here we go. Pokemon Moon. It has a stubborn, individualistic disposition. Eating dirt, making mud, and playing in the mire all form part of its daily routine. Okay, hold on. I know it probably said something different in Japanese.
Yeah, it probably...
But in English, that just said eating dirt, making mud.
We know, okay, mud butt is a term frequently.
If you haven't heard the phrase, you're making mud.
You're making mud.
He's pooping, okay? He's pooping. He enjoys eating dirt and pooping.
That's like something you've talked to, like, your infant child about. You say making mud or...
Right, you're making mud. But here, there's the best part about this. Read it in the other direction, because they're both true statements. How about making mud, eating dirt? This donkey
eats its own poop.
Its own poop. We now know what the mud is and why it's ground type.
Hands down, it's eating its own poop.
It eats its own poop. So, what I researched today, it was all about eating your own poop and seeing if you're able to do the other things that the Dex entries claim that it can do.
Why should we eat poop, Alex?
We should... Oh my god. So, other entries. Let's try and finish these up, because Kim's got stuff in here, too. So, Ultra Sun. I just want to read this because it's gross, now that we know what the mud is. It loves playing in the mud. If it isn't showered with mud on a daily basis, it gets stressed out and stops listening to its trainer.
Poop on your horse daily.
It's just like... Mudbray, stop it!
I mean, that's not uncommon.
I just gave you a bath!
Like, I mean, as an American, I look at making mud and I'm thinking, you're pooping.
You're pooping.
There's no other...
Yes, it's making... Yeah, we got that established.
There's no other... I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. I don't know, they might be on Australia and they might be like, nah, nobody says that.
All right, now,
I don't know.
Don't get worried, this episode is not all about poop. We have another entry that's actually pretty crazy. So, Ultra Moon. Ironically. Possessing mighty power, Mudbray can be loaded with 50 times its own body weight and will be totally fine.
Oh, we can math it.
We can math that. Fortunately, Pokemon have weights. And they were correct about this one's weight. So,
right.
Oh snap. 50 times? Oh boy.
Ooh.
Kim is going to be digging into how crazy that is. But here, I would have just knocked off the fact that it said that it basically eats its own poop and said, all right, we have no episode there. That's just funny, but it's stupid. But now we know this thing is really efficient. It is extremely strong and durable. And it survives off of eating its own poop.
Which is your waste. So it's
your waste.
Still getting something.
Right. So
How is it getting sustenance from?
It shouldn't. You would think it'd be getting nothing. So, right. The thing is, that's your waste. You put it back in again, as gross as it sounds. You would think you gain nothing from that.
The only thing that I have ever heard about drinking or eating your own waste is if you're in the desert, dehydrated, you can get water out of stool.
Well,
to hydrate yourself. That is the only thing I have ever heard beneficial.
If I were you, I wouldn't aim for the stool. There's one that's much more liquidy and comes out the other end.
Yeah, but you're not going to just find that laying on the ground. It's going to be absorbed into the dirt. So, squeezing it out of the poop.
That was disgusting.
It was some weird survival show that was funny.
I'm sure they were just trying to shock people because, don't do that. Alright, so, anyway, and for the record, before we get any further, don't eat your poop. Because
do not eat
don't eat your poop.
You will not be an efficient horse. Just don't eat
your
poop.
So I started searching this. I was trying to find some creature that is able to survive off of just its poop. Now, the Dex entry doesn't say that that's all it eats. Right,
so.
Like it just says it enjoys eating dirt and making mud. So
Who translated that?
I don't know.
Like
do you enjoy taking a crap? What a pleasant experience.
I don't know, like, it's like the other entries I think of, like, okay, these are numbers and facts that they have. This has to be a direct translation.
Right.
But this is like a wordplay thing. Like, I feel like they could have translated
this is just
better.
something that someone should have said, hey, in English, do you know that making mud means taking a crap?
Right, like...
The mud must flow. So, anyway, it's gross.
What animals eat their poop, Alex?
Okay, so what animals eat their poop? So you might have seen maybe, like, your dog or your cat eat their poop before.
I've never seen a cat eat their poop, but...
Cats do it.
Okay.
Even things like gorillas. There's videos that people have taken at zoos where, say, like, a gorilla male takes a crap in his hand. Eats some and, like, feeds some to his son.
Like, straight... I was thinking it was laying on the ground and
they just discover it? No, it plops right out and he's like, hey, sweet, I was hungry. Yeah.
I didn't know that's how they would eat poop.
Well, here, koalas do that.
Well,
koalas here, hold on. Koalas do that. Do you know why?
Because it gets the nutrients pulled apart from the eucalyptus that gets into their system that they can feed their babies.
Yes,
so
the leaves that they're eating are really hard to digest.
Right.
So one round through the mother koala means it's now digestible from the baby.
Right. See, I knew that one.
Okay.
I knew that one.
That same logic is basically the same reason why almost everything other than humans eat their poop. Just saying, almost everything. We are the odd ones out. From what I was searching, I was like, man, that's weird. They eat their poop too? Wait, so do they? Pretty much everything other than humans eat their own poop.
See, I thought, like, one of the most common things I see eat its poop are my fish. And I'm like, are you stupid? Why? I thought...
No, we're stupid. We are stupid because we don't eat our poop.
I just assumed that fish eating their poop, they were just, like, really stupid and thought it was food, so...
Well, actually, it's an instinctual thing. Some of them do. So, you know how, say, you can have a stomach ache, but no, you're not hungry. Right? And you got something else that's bothering you?
Yeah.
Okay, animals obviously will have that too. Okay? Their instinct to solve that, because, like, we know, like, say, I got a stomach ache, I want to get some sort of medicine for this. You know, I know, obviously, this is a learned thing that humans have. I want to get something to treat this.
We know what
we know that. But an animal, say a horse, let's just say, has this bad feeling in its gut, it will instinctively eat its own poop for a couple reasons. Okay?
Okay.
The first reason is kind of like that koala thing. Okay?
So it's
there's a lot of things
easily
that
digested.
No, there's a lot of things that creatures eat in the wild that just cannot be digested through one pass. Say, for example, rabbits. Rabbits eat their poop all the time. They love poop. Poop is like top tier delish. And the
That's
reason
why they come out in those perfect pellets, right? Bite-sized.
Bite-sized pellets. It's like snack size. It's like Cocoa Pebbles laying on the ground. So they go for that because the first part of their digestive system is going to be hit by the stomach, which is absorbing the nutrients.
Okay.
But the rest of their body, of their digestive system, is the intestines, which breaks everything down. So they're eating, see these plant-based things. They're herbivores.
Right.
They're eating this stuff that can only really be broken down once it's passed through the stomach.
Oh, okay.
So to survive, say like this is something I can see that the plants might have done to try and survive and last out the animals, right?
Okay.
So the animals survive by eating their own poop. Because now it's gone through. I know it's every time I say poop, you want to laugh.
Stop saying
but
poop.
every single time it's gone through them, okay, it has now been digested one time, so it now can be broken down into nutrients.
Can we say feces? I would laugh a little less if we said feces.
Crap. So, all right, stink pellets. So, Cocoa Pebbles? Cocoa Puffs? So after they go through one pass, now it goes back into the stomach again. Now it can be digested into nutrients.
Ah,
okay. So that is like the rabbit kind of cleverly getting around how this works. There's a second reason that animals might also want to eat their poop. So many great beneficial reasons why your nutritionist should focus on you eating your own tongue.
On the video version of this, can we just have do not eat your own poop?
Flashing on screen, do not eat your own poop. I mentioned it before. Do not eat your own poop. I'm still telling you, don't eat your poop.
Do not eat your own poop.
Hey, just saying. Don't eat your poop. Okay, so by the way, poop is awesome to eat. So like I said before, say they got this stomach ache and they know something's wrong. Okay. What that would mean instinctually to, say, going back to a horse, is there's something messed up with their internal microbiome.
Right.
Okay.
Like a stomach virus or stomach flu or something like that, right?
No, sort of. You know how some people will go on like a diet that kind of purges and resets their microbiome inside?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's the same sort of thing for animals. They need that. And a perfect, ideal way to restore that is by putting your own bacteria from your own gut back in.
Okay.
It works. It will fix the problem.
Okay.
Boom.
Don't eat your own poop.
We're just saying don't eat your own poop. But if you do, man, the benefits. So here's the problem though. In terms of Mudbray, because I'm not going to talk about poop the whole time, like I said. If you just are eating your own poop and playing in your own poop, you are not going to, like, sure, you'll be able to, like, reset if you got, like, a problem. Because this is not a healthy thing for a horse to be doing. Horses will still do this. I have a little bit of information on this because a horse, of course, is a pet for people. People take care of horses, so there's a lot of stuff on this. So like, my horse is eating its own crap. What the heck? What do I do? Okay, so it's actually a natural thing. There is a scientific name for eating your own poop.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What is this name?
Okay, crapalicious. No, I'm just kidding. It's called corophagia. Corophagia. No, it's not a corporate thing. No, it's eating your own poop.
Corophagia. Okay.
Corophagia. So, if your horse is actually eating its own poop, there's something wrong. It's kind of like
it's
how
not a good thing.
It's sort of like how if you see your dog eating grass, it's got a stomach ache and it's
got a stomach ache.
Yeah, it feels sick. That's the same thing for a horse. So honestly, if your horse is eating crap, that's bad. No, don't do that. But
get them to a doctor, please.
Yes, you should probably get them to a doctor. So basically, or they could be trying to maintain their own healthy digestive, all those enzymes and things that do live in their gut. They're trying to get that back again. There's a lot of antibiotics that people can give their horses that can actually make that worse because it's killing those things inside their gut naturally.
Oh, okay.
So people have to be careful with antibiotics. But so obviously these are wild horses and they just do this. So I'm assuming they're not on antibiotics, right? So that ain't anything.
I mean Mudbray, but I don't know. Mudbray and Mudsdale I feel like are pet horses.
They're in the wild, Kim. They're in the wild. So, other things that can cause a horse to want to eat its own poop. It could either be a lack of or have an inappropriate feeding, like, opportunity of things to eat.
Like Poke Puffs all the time.
Doesn't have Poke Puffs all day and night, all the time. It just doesn't have the right kinds of foods. And
like the jellies, no more jelly beans.
It just wants to, like, I don't know, change things up because it's so sick of this food. It would rather eat its own crap. That's, man, that is sad. When the chef comes out and he's like,
mean.
You didn't like the carrots and oats I gave you, and you would rather eat your own crap. Well, fine. See how you like this next thing.
You're not giving me enough sugar cubes.
Yeah, right. Aside from that, it could also just be stressed out, which it's happily doing this, so
yeah,
sorry.
This is part of its daily routine.
Yes.
Is eating dirt.
It is an individualistic disposition.
No, eating
an
dirt.
Odd taste, you might say.
It might not always be eating its own mud. It might be eating someone else's mud.
And it also might be doing this for the third and my favorite reason. It's bored. I'm not kidding. Take your horse for a walk to get it to stop eating its own crap. So, anyway, there was another really interesting thing that Mudbray could do, Kim, while it wasn't bored.
I mean, eating out of boredom's such a human thing to do.
Eating poop out of boredom.
So I'm like,
I don't know any human could ever be so bored they ate their own poop. But you know what? The internet's a crazy place. Probably happened. So anyway, please take this over. Change the subject. Remember, Mudbray can be loaded with 50 times its own body weight and be totally fine.
The perfect machine, because I mean, if it eats its own poop, it sustains itself. Okay,
but
so
it's eating more than its own poop.
Eating more than its own poop, but
yes, it will
eat its own poop because it makes mud and then it eats it.
It makes the mud. It loves the mud so much it eats it.
It can carry up to 50 times its own body weight. So its body weight was what, 242 pounds?
Yeah, about almost 250.
So that makes 50 times its body weight is 12,125 pounds.
Whoa! Which
is equal to about 6 tons.
So Mudbray, that newborn horse, can carry...
Probably doesn't walk too well either.
6 tons and be totally fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Their words, which means you can go over that and then it's starting to feel stressed.
But it can still do it.
It can still do it,
because
yes.
that's what it says in the Dex. It says...
totally fine.
Totally fine.
So, totally fine. Here, for example... Like, I could lift, like, 150 pounds. I would not be happy.
But you could do it.
I could do it. I'm not totally fine. You know, if you give me, like, something that's 35 pounds, and I have to hold it up for a while, I'll be fine.
Right.
You know? It's gonna be as annoying after a while. No. 6 tons.
6
and
tons.
It's totally
it's
fine.
It's fine with 6 tons.
Totally fine.
Cool.
So what else?
Also, of course, we gotta look up what weighs about 6 tons.
Yeah, give me some comparisons here.
Okay, African elephants. African bull elephants.
So an African bull elephant can stand on Mudbray's back and it, like, not even notice.
No. This is an easy way for elephants to transport themselves from point A to point B now.
Leave the Mudbray and just, like, scuttles around.
Honestly... On the joints, it's probably easier for Mudbray to walk versus an elephant to walk.
That doesn't make any sense.
Orcas.
Orcas. It carries...
Let's just flop an orca on that.
Flop an orca. You can carry an orca.
Heavy-duty pickup trucks.
Oh my god.
So let's put a truck on top of Mudbray. Small delivery trucks, so like those little ones that, you know, like the little box ones, not like the giant
large
semis,
box
but like
vans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a regular van.
Okay.
A school bus.
A school bus.
School bus. Let's
cool.
put that on the Mudbray.
Like,
that seems like a
tip
way
it straight
easier.
up in the air too.
Yep, there we go.
So it's
you gotta balance it.
Gotta get those kids to school when you run out of gas.
Hippos are about 9,000 pounds, so we could do.
He can almost carry 2. Wait, yeah, you can carry like almost 2 hippos.
So, like, just for Cincinnati's sake, you could marry Mama Hippo and Fiona.
Yeah. You can carry the mama hippo and the little baby hippo.
Yes,
the little baby hippo is also really big.
I think she's about 3 tons now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more, probably more about 2 tons. But and next I have 2 giraffes. I said 2 full-grown adult male giraffes because they're about 5,500 pounds.
So 2 full-grown adult male giraffes can stand one on top of the other, on top of this little donkey.
Yes, of course.
And they're cool with this.
Yeah. Totally cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I imagine more like one's like has his feet together on its butt, and then the other one has his feet together on its head, and then Mudbray just goes.
Mudbray just goes, and they just like try and deal with the balancing issue of him running.
He's like casual with it.
Yeah, right. He didn't even know.
Rhinos are about 4,600 pounds.
Gosh.
So like two and a half rhinos.
Jeez.
2.5 rhinos.
Full-grown rhinoceros. That thing is just weight. That is a living tank.
There has been a lot of science put behind that he would be able to support a full-grown T-Rex.
Awesome. Tyrantrum, get over here, buddy.
I like that it was one of the things when you type in what weighs this much.
Yeah.
The first thing is the I think it's the African elephant, and the next thing after that is like T-Rex. Like,
I just got this image in my head of like Tyrantrums tying Mudbrays to the bottoms of their feet, like roller skates, and then doing like ice skating dances. Like every time they set the foot down, the Mudbray just starts running, and they like lift one of them up and they like do a spin.
He's cool with it.
Yeah, he's cool with it.
So what Pokemon can we fit on top of Mudbray?
Because Kim was asked, she's like, I'm running out of real life things to put on Mudbray. So I said, put Pokemon on him.
So I had to make a random list of things to stack on top of Mudbray.
Okay,
so, 13.7 Whale Lords.
Oh my god!
Like, just keep stacking them.
Just keep stacking Whale Lords.
Think how tall that would be.
So wait, no, 13. Don't say 13.7 because he's totally fine. 13.7. 14.
14
Whale Lords.
He's
like
struggling a little bit.
No, he's not even struggling. He's like, this might get old.
A little uncomfortable.
A little uncomfortable because we're barely going over the edge.
I mean,
14 Whale Lords.
I don't know how those Whale Lords balance
easily,
on top of
13
each other.
Whale Lords? That's a joke.
But see, the thing is,
totally
I see Mudbray, and then I see like Whale Lord like this, but he's kind of like
what's like this? This is a podcast.
So like Whale Lord's like
long ways,
horizontally
hot dog
across him.
style.
So like he's kind of like folding in the middle, so like the Mudbray's like completely being absorbed.
So I mean, this is
by
like
the
a
Whale Lord.
stack of Twinkies, but each one is a whale.
But they're floppy, so they're kind of just
and they're
like
all
morphing.
flopping, and you put them on top of a donkey.
Okay, here's a good one.
Give me a super heavy.
5.8 Groudons, so about 6 Groudons.
6 Groudons! Groudon's like 2,000 pounds.
I don't know how you stack Groudons. How would you stack a Groudon?
I don't know.
And because we gotta go on the opposite end of this.
How many light Pokemon? Give me an extreme light Pokemon.
3,312 cutie flies.
I don't know how.
This is the fuzziest looking donkey. Can you imagine? Like,
I'm just trying to imagine a pile, a wad of over 3,000 cutie flies.
You know what it looks like? If anybody has played the new Kirby Star Allies, the Waddle Dee balls that you can get.
The Waddle Dee ball, just like...
they're all just like stuck together and wiggling?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but with cutie flies.
Yeah, and it would be like, 400 times that size. But yeah.
So, I mean, that's good to know that 30,312 cutie flies.
Wait, hold on. You said 3.
No, I said 30,000. Did I say 3?
You said 3.
30,000. I'm going to correct that.
30,000.
30,312 cutie flies. Equals about 12,000 pounds.
Ouch. Sorry, that's going to break your back.
Cutie flies?
Cutie flies. Yikes.
So those are the random things that we're stacking on top of.
Oh my gosh. So while we have a little bit of time, I want to quickly cover Mudsdale because it's very similar in terms of the same sort of stuff. So once this guy evolves, sure, he gets bigger. A proportion of bigger, as in about 8 feet, and he's a little over 2,000 pounds.
It's correct for an adult male Now, this
I know
is
that
like
sounds absurd in Pokemon logic, but that's what horses weigh. I'm sorry.
Surprisingly.
They actually got that one right. So, fortunately, also, we only have a couple Pokedex entries. And there's only one in particular I think we really wanted to cover with Mudsdale. And I'm going to read it. It's from Ultramoon. Okay. It can trudge mountain roads without rest for 3 days and 3 nights, all the while dragging a 10-ton load. Yikes.
Now think of those numbers we were just telling you about Mudbray. Given this is not on his back, he is just pulling this.
Just pulling this. 10 tons.
10 tons.
Tons.
Well, all while eating his own poop to sustain himself.
All on a diet of crap. The all crap diet.
Because I assume there's no other food around him while he's trudging up these mountains, so I just assume he's eating his own poop.
I don't know. So, what'd you get on Mudsdale?
Oh, I didn't write anything down because it's simply like, okay, well, orcas weigh about 12,000 pounds.
How many orcas is he carrying?
So...
Like, what did they test? One Mudsdale carrying 10,000
so
pounds?
10,000 pounds, it's 10 tons. 10 tons is 20,000 pounds.
Yes, I know.
Right. So we're doing like 2 orcas, 4 elephants, 2 elephants, 2 orcas. He's struggling a little bit.
Do you know what a normal horse can pull?
I don't know.
Not even close. You need 2 horses pulling a carriage. I mean, that's not bull elephants stacked one on top of another.
I mean, how about this? What like school buses are about 12,000 pounds, so let's put like 2 school buses behind
Right,
it.
so you have 1 Mudsdale pulling 2 school buses.
That seems a lot more efficient than using gas.
You know what's so funny is like they got the height and weight right finally for the Pokemon, and then they just totally screw it up with the Dex entry.
I don't know why they would do this.
What is wrong with Sun and Moon? They give us the best entries.
I'm still trying to figure out how to stack Groudons on top of more Groudons.
I don't know, they're kind of shaped like those stackable chairs. I feel like the bottom of one is the top of another, and you
so
can
just like stack them
click
in their
them,
arms
click them together, and they just
over.
hug the next one. And the tail like keeps cupping the next one's shape.
So like dragging like 9 Groudons
Yeah,
behind
just
him?
dragging. They're not walking. Dragging the Groudons. Stubbornly. Like, I don't want to go over there. That's insane.
So many Groudons.
All the while going on the full natural diet.
Like, it's completely sustainable. Then we
natural.
make it like the unstoppable, sustainable machine.
Yes, the perfect machine.
Mudsdale.
Because here, if you like we said before, if you put waste in, say here, it does eat its own crap while it's going on the journey, and it doesn't eat anything, eats its own crap again. Once it goes through again, sorry, the nutrients were pulled out.
On the second try, like eating.
Yeah, he got it.
Time.
Round 3, he's not getting anything out of that. You know, you can't just keep eating your own poop. So
can we at least read the first Dex entry, because then it just makes me think that we're using poop.
Go ahead.
So in the first Dex entry from Sun on Mudsdale, it says, it spits a mud that provides resistance to both wind and rain, so the walls of old houses were often coated with it.
I think that is where we've got to end this episode. That's disgusting.
They're making a house out of their poop.
That is a poop house. Welcome to the poop house. I don't think I want to be anywhere near that.
I was so hung up on that after a while. Like, they're just making poop
Oh, another
houses.
ridiculous one from Moon. Its heavy mud-covered kicks are its best means of attack, and can reduce large trucks to scrap without breaking a sweat.
It makes a special kind of mud with its saliva.
Yes, it makes a special kind of mud
Like
with its
the
saliva.
one that comes out of its butt.
Yeah, like butt saliva. Anus juice.
Mud butt.
Sorry. I just wanted to say anus juice somehow.
You said that to me this morning or last night, and I was like, please
Yeah,
never
I'm
say that
finding
word again.
ways to say anus
It's
juice.
gonna be like one of those things you get to say it once a year.
So far, I've already made it like 2-3 times this week,
It's
so
not good.
I'm
It's
killing
not
it
good.
on times where you got to use the phrase anus juice. Yes.
You're terrible.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to hear that phrase.
I know, but anyway, this thing to where like the 10-ton load was
machine.
actually more impressive than kicking and destroying a truck and turning it into scrap. Yikes.
Yeah.
It's like they looked up what a horse was. They got the height and
They
the weight
got
right,
that information.
and they're like, you know what? No, this is Superman horse.
I mean, it has to be. It's a Pokemon. It's
It
gotta be something
survives
special.
off of its crap. Well, I mean, it doesn't say that as Mudsdale. It might have gotten better, but I mean, are you gonna forget that?
I mean, it's saying it's mixing the dirt and it with its saliva and
like
that's a constant
That's true. So that's from
thing,
Ultra Sun.
so-
It mixes dirt with the saliva in its mouth to make a special kind of mud. That might be them trying to fix the it makes mud
like
thing.
pretending that it's eating manure. Like, that's not any better.
No. I mean, like, since this is Ultra Sun and the last one was from Sun or Moon from Mudbray, they might be trying to say, how is it making mud? Or like, well, it puts dirt in its mouth and it like gets spit in and it spits it out.
And then it eats that mud.
Right.
Either
Eating dirt.
way, it's eating
Well, no,
its
here, hold on.
own.
Because it's eating the dirt. So it's putting it in its mouth, trying to get it covered in, saliva, and it spits it out to make the mud. Is what they were trying to go with. But the English doesn't work like that.
No, it said making mud, and
It's
making mud
means poop.
pooping.
Yeah, means pooping. So
That
anyway,
means pooping.
That's poop. So Anyway, there you go. How many times did you hear us say poop or anything that meant poop
I feel like
in this
we should
episode?
start the tally.
This is the crappiest episode we've ever done.
I wish I didn't laugh at that.
She laughed at it. She laughed at it. She's gonna hit me, so we better end this episode. So anyway, if you guys have found an interesting Pokedex entry that has some crazy science in it, or just makes no sense, or you're just really, really ridiculous like this one, let us know over on the Discord page. There's a specific Pokedex Paradox channel just for this. People are allowed to upvote ones they like and see if we can get them made for the episode for you.
Don't feel like we've only ever had one successful Pokemon Paradox, and that was Luxray.
Right.
And that was...
We'll see if one can actually happen that sounds absurd, but either way, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us next time for some more game science. Be sure to follow us either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and we will see you all in the next episode of Pokedex Paradox.
Bye-bye.